Hello, hello, friends. How's it going? Another Tuesday. Coming up on those holidays. I feel like stuff is just busy. At least in my neck of the woods. All that like winter is coming type things need to happen. So much like running around in random house projects that you try to sneak in before snow comes. I just saw some snow flurries as I was walking to my desk. I'm like, just hold off a little bit longer. I've gotten a couple snowfalls, but nothing that's stuck for too long. Not enough time in a day, I tell you. So speaking of not enough time, we last week we had a chat with Yue, a little bit of a different stream and different stream time, but the week before that, we were working on playing around with the Websockets plugin and one of the apps that we had made on stream months ago. We still have it up? No, I don't. And so what that app does is you can click a button and it opens up a window. You can use that window and color the whole of the window without any window decorations to a single color, which you can use to redact parts of your screen when you make a screenshot. The little bit of a chaos mode that I thought would be fun would be, where are we? Down here. We were working on that command, and the idea is that you call that, and it'll open up just a random, well, you can define it, but a window covering part of the screen. A little bit of chaos, a little bit of fun, goofing around, but also we learned something in the process. That kind of this pattern is something that I imagine is going to show up in a fair number of Tauri apps. Let's go ahead and go over to the display. We still have this stuff that we talked about last time. Servo. We talked about servo a bunch here. Oh. There we go. Wow. Still not quite used to the shifting things around a little bit here. All of those can go away, and we want to go to... I just realized I have the wrong thing open there. I guess last year is when we started it, did it? We haven't really touched it too much since. I definitely keep coming back to this and going, oh, I need to deal with that. We had been playing around with window decorations on Mac, and I don't know that I ever pushed the fix. I think we decided something on stream, and I just never actually pushed it. We definitely have some changes in here that are not pushed though. So this is what we were working on last time. We almost had it working, but we added the plugin. There's not too much involved to actually add the plugin itself. And the bit that we were missing, where is it? Here. WebSocket is a class that we're importing from the plugin. We call connect on it, and now it's like a live WebSocket connection. Not specifically run through just the web view. The plugin is also doing some stuff on the on the Rust side of things to handle that connection. And what threw me off was I was expecting a normal event listener interface, but it's not. You do add listener, and it's just expecting a function. Then you add like your switch cases for the different events in here. Which is I don't know if I'm thrilled with that interface. I feel like a normal event interface would make more sense because it's a WebSocket plugin. That's what you'd expect as far as like an API service goes. But the other thing, I wonder if like the filtering mechanism is not as is sort of weak with this API. But TBD, what we might like kind of come back to that thought. Here, I can make this a little bit bigger too. So this was the bit that we couldn't quite figure out on stream. I was assuming this was a normal listener interface, and then after the stream ended, I poked around on it a little bit more because I was I was like, what am I missing? Probably a little bit of sleep deprivation had to do with that too. Kiddo's not been sleeping the greatest, but so I figured that out off stream. This bit right here. I think that pretty much gives us everything that we need to do, though, at least on like on the main subscription part of it. So like what was confusing is we weren't seeing any events at all. We were seeing the subscription. It appeared to go through. I didn't really have great debugging ability on the WebSocket server side of things because that is going through StreamerBot. So I don't have as direct control of that as would be helpful. I do wonder if there's a way to like get more debugging information out of it, or maybe look at the logs. It's definitely something I haven't dug into yet, though. But we had like two ends of the things that were seemingly talking, but I wasn't able to observe any chatter between them. So on our side of things, this was a bit that we were missing. So now if we go ahead and run this, we should start seeing so let's see, set messages. We are looking at just raw right now. I think this has something to do with, I was wondering about this too. I don't seem to see the commands trigger. I'm just seeing the raw actions trigger, which is a thing. But I think I've got a console log in here somewhere. So this is all just setting up the WebSocket. So WebSocket and init happens when we click the button. So if we click connect to WebSocket, we're now getting stuff. So we get the subscribe. It's dumping it into the messages array. It might be helpful to like clear out that messages array, but we'll deal with that. And okay, so this is kind of the bit that I was getting to, that I was like, okay, figured out what the deal was and why we weren't getting events. This is going to be a good place to pick it up on stream. So we have messages. Now, what we want to do is if we see somebody do a command, we should get a WebSocket message, and it looks like we are. So we got two, because it comes in as both a chat event and as, let's see, is there a command? So I think the second one's a command and the first one is a chat event. But I don't see the event. It's just raw. Type YouTube arguments. Having some sort of type in there would be very useful. Right now we're doing the data. Okay, so we're not doing the event type. We might want to like do the whole event. The data is coming in as a string though. I think that's part of the bit there where we need to make some decisions on how we handle things. We'll try refreshing. I don't know if I need to refresh, but. So we get data and we get type. Okay. Case type. This, I did not sleep well that night. Or the night that before we did this stream. The case type, that should be case text. So our default, both our case text and default are going to be this, and we're parsing that whole event. So we're getting the raw events. I think this makes sense. I think we want to do the messages. We're just gonna pipe in, like it would be nice to have some sort of in our stream overlay. We're using a function to handle like the stream of events from StreamerBot. It would be nice to have something in that same vein. I don't know if it's worth adding at the moment though. So I am going to try to resist the urge of digging into another thing here. We'll see. Let's see if we can actually subscribe to this, and if we get commands. Because I suspect the only thing we care about at the moment is the commands. So this is our subscribe and our get events. And now if we do hide, okay, we're only getting a command. Ooh, okay. So that comment right there is not correct. And cooldown. What's the cooldown event? I don't think I've actually seen that fired. So I think that'll work. And what we do, what we're doing now then is now that we're connected, if somebody says hide, it's not creating a window. And did I close the blast? Objects. Okay, so the window creation JSX. So we are getting on line 15. This is our message. So this is in our use effect, when it fires off and we get an updated thing, this is dumping out the last message. Is this a state? Set messages, yes, okay. So I think we do. So what this is doing is just calling create window right now. Couldn't find callback ID in window. So create window is we're calling set windows, which is modifying the state and creating a new window. Date now. So this should be creating a window. Couldn't find a callback ID in window. This happens when the app is reloaded while Rust is running an asynchronous operation. It's not. Okay. So we're not getting a name. In window creation line 16. Okay. Got it. So those first two events, we're not seeing that, which makes sense. So if we do this, that's gonna make those go away. Because those first two events that are coming in to the messages array are the subscribe and the get. So that makes sense. So now line 20. Got it. Okay. If we now type hide, what is the message that what was there that we were getting? So we are getting an event. Okay. So last message, data name. I'm gonna switch this to command, and I'm gonna remove that log there as we don't really need it. I do want to come back to this error that we keep seeing here for Rust. Ooh. What did I do? Then I went away. Use effect. Oh, interesting. Okay. Okay, connected. Now, if we do exclamation mark hide. There we go. So every time we call that now, we're gonna get, right now it's showing up by default on top in the center of the screen. I am having trouble pointing today. That right there ends up being the center of my screen because I have a widescreen. So now we need a mechanism to make those go away. And we also need to deal with this. I do want to, let's see. Let's log that out when it happens. Because I want to see what this whole data chunk is. We've got a counter, a user, and an event. close that because we want it to go away. So we've got to create window, and then we also want to remove it. And we want to remove it after a timeout. So create window is where it's just being fired off on click. Web view is declared, but its value is never read. And we've got a function within set window. So if we say const window ID, because I believe we should have a web view dot ID. I'm pretty sure it's web view. It would be like window.id. Because then we can say null, and we'll set it here. Window ID equals web view, and I think this is going to allow us to like recall it basically, or at least respond to it. Window ID. So this ends up being a little bit more of like a function with a side effect. If you ignore the side effect, it's just returning null, which is fine. But then what we can do here is we can say const ID equals create window. Now we should theoretically be able to do this. Assignment to constant variable. On line 37. Makes sense? Okay, so we're not getting... Man, every time I save now, it's opening up a window because it's doing like the last message. The way it's doing the hot reloading. Kind of hilarious. Let's just log out this whole thing. I thought it was the ID. Label. Okay. Label. We're gonna just rename all of this stuff. Man, all these windows open are kind of annoying. It's gonna be hilarious when people are actually like opening them. So they got all these like floating ones that are just because of hot reloads they didn't close. So now we should be able to we should get a label every time we create a new window. Okay, so we have the label. And now what we can do is we can say, we've got a remove window that expects an event, which grabs the window ID. So if we set window color, when somebody clicks here, it's clicking remove window. And it has both a color window ID. Where's that ID coming from? Color window, window ID. Ah, okay. So here we're actually calling it ID. I'm gonna flip that to be label for everything as well. just to keep everything consistent. It's a little bit of a change, a little bit of a big change here. I think it's gonna end up proving helpful to have that consistency. Okay, let's close. I think what happened is I bet you the label was undefined, that I missed a place to actually close it, and we passed null or undefined, which I'm guessing just defaults to closing the main window. So if we do create, we get a second one. If we click the X, I don't think we actually have an ID assigned here yet. I'm just going to close the whole program. So we need to fix that, rewire that up. The like API within Tauri, when you call WebView close or you do a new WebView window, if you don't define it, it just uses the existing one based off of our code right here. Yeah. Oh, did it? Didn't actually save that, did it? Didn't do anything here, right? Yeah. Pressed a hotkey, which also did my my window. Okay, so where are we losing it? Let's go ahead and start this again. Label, basically I want to make sure that I don't have ID anywhere. ID. I wonder if so if we could create, we've got color range button with an X, and it's got an ID. So if we click that, we should be getting an event. And I bet you I was using the actual ID to do the removal. So this is probably going to stay ID right there. There we go. Okay. So now remove window takes an event. So what we could do is, I kind of want to like reuse this interface. We can say this, or just event. So if there's no target, at ID, it's just going to be that. And I think what we could then do is say, do we do a set timeout here? Set timeout. Remove window. And then we maybe wait 2000 milliseconds. So that would be 2 seconds. Now if we click, and this is only going to happen when we get a message. So if we have connected, get a message. We do hide, or if we call hide, we should be getting an event. Other computer making sound here. So that still works. That works. When we do a hide, chat is just going to be a whole bunch of... We're not seeing any of them now. Okay, no messages. Ah, forgot to click connect. Every time it reloads, I need to remember to click that. Which is fine for dev, but okay, there we go. I actually want to do a little bit longer. So that's basically when it hot reloads, it ends up replaying like the last message. So 6 seconds feels pretty good. And what it's doing right now is it's opening it in the center of the screen because we have center true. Now we also have ability to set the width, the height, I think it's X, yep. And Y. Wow, man, my typing is rough today. This is still a little bit of a newer keyboard, and I'm kind of getting used to it. These are mutually exclusive, though. Oop, wrong button. Too much Mac. We kind of want to do either or. So I think what we do is we say, I mean, I think that's fine. I think what we do is this. Right now we're passing in the ability to set options. Our default is going to be center true. And what we then do is we say options are going to be this. Center false. And we're going to, I guess we set a default. Initial width, it's a number. So let's make it a square. Let's say maybe 250 by 250. I think X and Y is gonna be like monitor, so we're gonna have to do some sort of like converting, because what y'all can see is not necessarily my whole screen. So if somebody's making an assumption to say, if we presume that X and Y of 0 shows up in the bottom left of what you can see, that's not actually going to be the bottom left. Let's do these both as 0 and just see what happens. And URL, and we're also setting the color. So I think what we do is we say options.webview. And then we do options dot. It's almost backwards. I'm creating the web view window. This is really the window. This is really the web view. So then this all needs to be window, and we can say web view, color, FFSF is white, right? Oh. Interesting. Oh. Oh, is that a transparency thing? There we go. Okay. So if I wanted to do white. Yeah, it's FFFF. I think we say hex. We presume that you are doing hex. I think what we do is we default to like CSS as a like input mechanism. So we could say go to these docs, and it's basically like that shorthand syntax. So this should be making a white window. If we would, here we'll hit save. This should replay the last message. Or is it not going to do anywhere? No, it's not. It should be giving us a white window, but it's actually giving us a black window, which is interesting. Options.webview. Color. It is definitely coming in as... I wonder if that's is that an alpha property? Alright, let's look up hex with alpha. It is... Okay, so like this would be red. And the second, or the last number, if you give it 8, or the last 2 digits, there we go, that's a better way to say it, the last 2 digits determine transparency. So right now I'm smashing them together. So if we have so what would be the alpha of that? Still black. Alright, let's look up, because what we were doing before is just defaulting to like a known value, making the screen black. But also it seems that that alpha transparency thing that I was doing doesn't seem to be working as expected, but it just happens to also make the thing black. So like it works. Yeah. So the lowest possible value is 0, 0, and the highest possible is FF. So it should be giving. Let's look at our window code. Where are you? Is it public? Public, here we go. So the default is to use black. So I think we actually had an issue. And what we're doing is we're calling document.body.style background color. So if we go to MDN background color, we should be able to. What is the expectation here? Fully transparent. Okay. Fully opaque. Document body style background color. Let's check console.log color. I wonder if we just straight up, because we were messing around with transparency, I think let's check that real quick. If we change the transparency, okay, so it works. Yeah, every time we change it, it's working. And it is communicating across the wire here, because we're doing events through back in Tauri, basically. So every time we do this, it's firing off events. You can see my dev tools for this window. Just here we can, if you look at the slider. So it's firing off event every time I do that. And it's not, I mean, if I do it really fast, it's not sending that much data. At least on this computer while streaming. It's a pretty beefy computer. You don't really notice any difference. If we were sending more data, we might end up having an issue there. But I think this is fine. I think that's working fine. So the question is, when I connect and I've got an alpha value here. Why is it making that window that opens up black? Okay, so replayed the last events, but they are both black still. Create window, options, web view and window. And X and Y is actually the top left. So here, well, let's move it over a little bit. It's gonna be, is it what, like a 3440, I think. So if I move it over 2000, there you go. So you can see it every time it's gonna pop up now. We've got it set to be red. It's coming in as black. Let's move this down just a bit. Oh, too much. Yeah. Why? It must be this initial value. Yep. So this initial value that we're setting here, we're not actually using it because it's only listening for events. Okay. So what we could do is if we gotta wait for the window to open. So we can say if we are setting a web view, well, let's just assume that we need to emit immediately. And that is going to be color Color here is this. So we do the concatenation here. So the idea is if we are setting a value here in our thrower options, immediately emit it. Color window, that's fine. So there should be new window, beta. Are you gonna go away? Oh boy. Okay, that's close. I had another window open up on the side here. I feel like the hot reloading mostly works. And I'm looking now, we're on beat 3. It, beat, fight. No, I can't remember which one it actually is. Okay, we are connected. So if we do hide, interesting. So it takes a little bit for that to load. We can't send events when it loads. Can we set the initial state basically? Okay. There are events. We could do that. This does end up going out of scope pretty quick here. Window dot. Whoa, what was it? It's no, web view. Is it on? Here, web view once. Extra copy node. So if we do this, once it is successfully created, then emit. We're going to refresh just in case. I'm going to hit connect again. It's just a zombie window here. No. Are we actually seeing the event? Nope. Let's bump up this to, we'll just say 16 seconds. That'll be fine. So now if we look at this, it's not seeing the event. So we do need to wait. We need to wait or somehow affect the creation of the window. So we could this is setting up a listener once it's like once the web view loads, setting up a listener. It has no knowledge of which window it is. So we're not in a situation currently where this can pull any information. It's push only. So the push needs to, as it is right now, it needs to happen here. So if we do a web view down once, is it going to give us other event names. I don't see anything in here. Let's take a peek at the docs real quick. I think what we end up doing is we look. Whoa. Gotta love spas. If we look at the, now I'm distracted. Events. Let's look at the API. We can potentially get some events, or we can potentially use an event to hook into this. Okay, let's reset. So window of events. When we do web view window, this was what we were seeing in the like hover menu in VS Code. Do we see anything with events here? Listeners, methods. So we can emit. Is it emitting when web view? Okay, so we're emitting directly to the other window. Yeah, and here what we're doing is we're emitting back and forth between windows. And interesting. That's an interesting approach. Piping the token between windows. And I think that's part of what makes, once you start going multi-window or multi-web view, when that starts to come down the line, which potentially less use cases, but anyways, definitely multi-window, being able to shift some of that more global state up out of the web view into the main like Tauri Rust side of things. I think that makes more sense than trying to like sync it between different browser windows or different Tauri windows. Because like that token, this token example, if you open up a window and you open up a second window, the last one to make a call basically needs to push that information to all of the other open windows. Which is a lot. But that's interesting too, because when you if you move more of that state into the Rust side of things, it means that you end up kind of losing compatibility with being able to like publish directly to the web. So have a web app and a Tauri app, which I think is a valuable architecture. So it's almost like that main window needs to be the thing holding the state and like syncing the state to the other pieces, at least parts of it potentially. If you want to keep that architecture. And I think that's where things start to become involved and complicated. Okay, so event. Tauri update status, blur, close, window. Okay, so window created. Now do we get like a... I don't see... So we're firing off, we're emitting an event. And so web view, there's a web view created. We don't have a web view created here. So like these events are specifically within the web view. Well, no, I guess not entirely. Menu is not within the web view. No. Yeah, so that's definitely not right. But these aren't all the events. If we were doing the window, there's also the web view window has a Tauri created Tauri error. That's specifically for that, like they call it web view window since they're synonymous in this case. Now, when we create the web view window, are we able to like, what are we passing? Web view window. And window options. So window options ends up being, is it top, center, closable, content protected decorations, focus, full screen, hidden title. Okay. Max height. Whether or not, transparent URL, your user agent, X and Y. Okay. What's the user agent? I mean, so what we're trying to do when we create and open up a window, we want that window to immediately be a color, which means that we need to be able to pass along some information when we do that. Now we can open up a window, or we give it a URL, and it's either going to be a local path or a URL. I don't know if local file path route or users appended. I don't know if we can use like okay, so we're doing a relative path, which is effectively option number 2. And since it's a relative path, this is effectively appended to the application URL, which is this. I suspect we might be able to do something like query parameters. So if we say color equals orange, when we look here, document dot, how do we get the query parameters? Can we see it here? Colors. Okay. Now we need to be careful because this might only work in dev. I suspect there might be some caveats here. But if we do like query parameters, so let's do mdn query selector. Query is query params, right? So this is the parameter string. I'm hoping to just copy paste something that has just a, didn't want the hard coded piece in there, but document.location. This is basically, I think, what we might be able to so here we're gonna listen, and we're also gonna say, let's grab the, I think it's color. And we're gonna say initial color. And we're gonna go ahead and log it. So orange. Sweet. So what we can do is when we create the window, rather than saying, I guess it's options.webview still. No, we're going to say window and we're going to say color. We're specifically going to pass a hex. I'm gonna have to do some checking, but we'll get to it when we get to it. So we'll say how do we do this? Let's just call it color. And we'll say, I don't know, FF. So if there's a options dot color, so if there's an options dot color, then we're going to do this. Otherwise, that. We'll roll with that for the moment. So now when we refresh, got all these like floating windows around here. It's fine, go away. If we do this, should theoretically give us, I need to connect. I did not connect. Let's try it again. Black. The window is black. Because that needs to go away. That can go away when it's created. We're setting the color. This can go away because we can't do that. So we're either going to be opening just the thing directly. Otherwise, if we're setting a color, then it's going to be orange. And we are calling create window, and there should be a color in this case because we are setting options.color. Okay. I think that's right. I'm going to switch this to be string template because I'm going to use that momentarily. Interesting. Oh boy. All right, close. I feel like some of the, what we probably need to do some upgrades here. Some of the like process detection and whatnot is still a little bit wonky. But there's things that aren't necessarily up to date on this. So I'm hoping that if we update, we will deal with some of that. Let's go ahead and make a connection. We'll open up our first window. That appears to be fine. We'll go ahead and close it. We will do hide. Okay. Hey, that's actually working. I don't know. You need to both subscribe during the stream and have public subscriptions on, which is much less common on YouTube. That's definitely more of a thing on Twitch. So, don't see too many of those. Appreciate the subscribe, Odie. So it should be. Oh, we lost the question mark here. Was that really the issue here? Is this one gonna go away now? Is that the save? I'm also gonna take out this always on top. I don't want that as a default. Whoa, what did I do? I copied the whole line. Okay, so now if we do exclamation mark hide, we got a window, still black. I just got a whole nother instance open. Okay, so it's saying orange. Okay, it's coming through. Oh yeah, we just don't have it wired up. So what we can do is say this. And that's not necessarily going to be set. So I think if we do if initial color, and let's go ahead and get rid of that. Now I'm not sure why we got two instances open, but we're just gonna kill some instances here. We might want to do a quick upgrade too. What time are we looking at? Okay, we've been going for about an hour. Might be worth it. Hey, that does not look like orange. That does not look like orange at all. Let's try it one more time. I think I replayed the last two because it just made that connection. No, it's doing it twice. Interesting. It definitely says it's orange. That is not orange. That would be more of an orange. Interesting. Okay, we are setting the initial color. It appears that we're getting two events though, which is interesting. Let's go ahead and open up this. Check out our events. I see 4 events coming in. Command triggered, command triggered. It is happening twice. Why? Oh. Watch this. I subscribed. Okay. Maybe on the refresh. Yeah, I think I actually clicked it twice because I had the window open. Or like previously, I was looking at the DevTools, so every time I would click connect to WebSocket, I would see something pop up to show me that I like clicked the button basically. Without the DevTools open, I clicked it, I'm like, oh, it didn't do anything. So I clicked it again. So, yes, multiple subscriptions. but I think that wasn't entirely on my end. So I think it's working. If you if you do exclamation mark hide, you should be able to like open up a window on my screen. Let's get the colors wired up here. And okay, so we are currently defaulting to did it do the subscribe? That's kind of weird. I don't know why it like moved. Okay, so we're getting the command, counter, and then message. So I think message is the piece that we need to parse. Now, and this comes back to if we're doing like CSS. So if we would say like background color, we can set it in a couple different ways here. I think what we're gonna say is we're just gonna presume that it's a hex, so it has to be a hex. If we look at something like SVG, let's say like SVG rectangle, these are the instance properties. Now, how would you? I don't have an example. I was hoping to use like the let's do MDN CSS SVG. I don't want to directly. Okay. This is what I was looking for. We want to do background color. I'm hoping to mimic what exists, because there's like you can do shorthand syntax. And I think that will be more recognizable. So fill. I mean, I guess we could do like colon separated things. So if we do, I mean, that's gonna get really verbose. We could do I guess our first implementation could be that somebody needs to specify all the properties. And if they don't, we could just use a default. I guess that kind of makes sense. What else would there be that we could copy that would MDN div CSS. So like if we would presume just a normal div, okay, so like you're specifying width separately. Is there no shorthand? Div shorthand properties. Okay, like border width, that makes sense. Margin padding, border radius. There might actually be any shorthand syntax for the like this kind of use case. Because there's background. So the first property in when you're doing background or shorthand syntax is color. Margin position. Okay. Top right, bottom left. I think we just have to make our own shorthand up, basically. Okay, we're gonna assume that the first value that you're doing is color. So we're gonna say const color, and we are going to split on spaces. So if there's no spaces, and I think we do 0, 0. I don't know if it's going to keep around the existing transparency, but we'll find out, I guess. So this should be connected. If we do exclamation mark hide, and we say like FF0000, that should be a specific color. Split is not defined. Oh, ha ha ha. Of course. Last message dot data dot I think it's message. So now if I do exclamation mark hide, I guess we're specifically looking for a hex, but we wouldn't have to, because we could say something like hide yellow. No, well, let's do green. Let's do green. We haven't done green yet. That might make it obvious, more obvious. Oh, things reloaded. Holy cow. Yeah, it might not work because I like another instance opened up. I'm not sure why it's doing that. Getting like multiple instances of the app opening. It's really weird. Let's close everything. Cancel. I think I'm also on this might still be in version 1. 1.1, 1.2 maybe. So that I think that definitely has something to do with it. Okay, it's opening up as orange. Are we not setting? Oh, color orange. Okay, we're not passing it through yet. That's the bit that we missed. And as long as it cleans up, even if the syntax is wrong and something goes wonky, I think that's still kind of funny too. We can now do options.color. Hey, okay. So now I think if you do it OD, it should work. And then now we need to figure out like what's going to be a shorthand syntax for width, height, X and Y. Okay, so 73 BBF. I would expect that works. Ooh, can we open it up real quick here? Oh, nothing came through. Colors, split. What's our message look like? I wonder if we're not parsing that message right. Data message. So if we split on spaces, what does that look like? Make that a little bit bigger. If we do a dot split, so the first one should be I think you were right. So we need to do a gosh, what is it? Encode array? Yeah, encode array. So that should just be available within the browser itself, or our web view in this case. We should be getting, okay, so let's lose color. Let's go ahead and just gonna close everything again, just to make sure we don't have like phantom stuff floating around. So this should now options.color, options color. Let's double check to make sure that we're getting color coming through here too. Go ahead and connect. Now we see the subscribe and the get. So if we say hide light blue, that works. Now if we do I guess anything with or anything with a hash should work, right? So if we do hide fff, still not like it. It's like it's not encoding it still. So I'm looking up at the top of the dev tools. You can see the URL. And we are getting it. It is coming through. So if options.color is set, it should be set, right? Dot color. We're getting a color. But this is just empty. Okay, let's log this out. I feel like there's something we're just missing here. What did I? This is what I want. Okay. So encoded. I mean, this I don't remember. Does that needs encoding, doesn't it? Here we'll do URL encoding hashtag. Okay. URL encoding browser. Is that yeah, I can't remember. Let's check out the MDN was it encode URI. What's the difference? I don't remember the last time I've had to do this. Okay, this encodes more characters. Okay. I mean sure. Oh. Also I need to do the right one. There we go. Wait. So theoretically speaking, your message should work now, Odie. We're getting the color. I also want to in the window that's like in the main window, that color is not correct. So we are doing create window. We're not setting it here. So I still do want to do, still want to do this. So if it's a color, then do a color Probably should just stop copying and pasting so much, but whatever. That transparency is going to be a little bit awkward. We might need to deal with that. Yeah, okay. It's something with an error. If we hit an error, we get another instance. We might YOLO upgrade too. I think I'm gonna end up opening this up as a PR. It's gonna be we'll need to do a little bit more with it, but it might make sense to open up this up as a PR and then do an upgrade in a separate one. So now we should get window, close. That all works. So now if we do hide, I need like a, we're just gonna make one up. I have no idea if this is gonna work, but we'll find out. Pink, peach, salmon. That color is not coming in right though. There we go, cool. Is it a transparency thing? I mean, alpha should be set. Is it because I'm setting the alpha? There's an expectation of that? Yeah, I think if you set the... I don't know if it's going to work here. Did it... oh. Yeah, okay, yeah, the alpha works. Cool, sweet. I was like, hey, it didn't work, and then... No, it was. It was just, it had alpha, or it had the transparency. But that should set that too. So what are we doing in here that we're getting a weird background color? Okay, so background color is a combination of those two. So when we create it, if we're not setting an alpha, so this is kind of my naive logic here. Is there... I don't remember if there's built-in browser APIs to handle these kind of color things. I haven't actually had to do that. Is it the transparent true? The transparent true. So the transparent true is the thing that allows when the web view opens, it if you have it set to false, it like sets the background to white basically. So if you don't like set a background color or you set some transparency, you're always gonna have like opaque background. So this allows the transparency to happen. So this web view window, when it is started and opened, it has transparency set to true. So that if anything is transparent and we don't have background set there, you can actually see through the Tauri window itself. So that's different than the transparency when we're setting the color. So like this option allows us to be able to create a window that ends up having some transparency to where you can see through the whole window itself. So this color container here, we're setting the background color. We are naively concatenating two strings together, of which creates a hex with alpha transparency set in it already. So like the default section includes transparency. And then in our new window made it, we've got both color and alpha. So now if we're expecting input, we need to, I guess what we do is we say, we're gonna make it alpha. We're gonna add alpha transparency and expect it to be hex. So on that line, you're not setting the option color to the background color. On line 49, are you talking about? I think if we set, I mean, we still have alpha here though. That's the confusing bit to me. So, on the section earlier, scroll down. Okay, so on, you're not setting the option. Oh, I see what you're saying now. We are creating a state. We've got a use state, which has a list of the windows available, and those windows have the new window meta, which holds the label, which points to the actual window that's opened, and the color and the alpha. Color and alpha has two different values. When we are displaying that state, we are mapping over that object, and we're naively concatenating both the color and alpha to give us our background color. Which is fine if we are controlling that exact input and output. But in this case, now anybody could, I mean, you could theoretically type in anything. So I think what we want to do actually is, let's add a little bit of logic here to do some conversion. Yes, exactly, yeah. So it'll be like light blue plus FF, which I'm guessing just like is no bueno, basically. it'll see that and it's just like, that's not a color. I'm just gonna make it, white or transparent or whatever the default ends up being. So I think what we want to do is have a little bit of logic here that says, we do want to allow words. I think that words are actually going to be helpful, hex or words. So if you can define, like if you say orange or black, I think those will be no more natural. So we can say if it starts with a hex, we want it to have a specific number of characters, and if it, I guess it would be 7 characters. If it has 7 characters, we're going to append a default alpha transparency. Or we're gonna somehow set the default alpha transparency, and if it doesn't have that, then we are going to then we're going to assume that you've set the alpha transparency. So if it's a, how do we want to do this? Because we're naively concatenating. If we don't set an alpha, so we'll start with this. Let's say if options.color starts with, if it starts with a hex, then we're going to just assume we want that, others we're going to do that. So this, I think, is going to get us, if we would do something like light blue. Oh, did we not, we're not connected anywhere? Oh, there we go. That took a while. There we go. So now the other case is, if alpha transparency is already set. So if it starts with a hex, we're setting the FF. Or we're setting it. So let's do it the opposite way. We're just going to do a nested ternary here, because I think this is a very specific situation. And then we're going to say if options dot color dot starts with a hex or a hash and options dot color dot length is length does that include the 0 character? I can't remember. So it'll be 6 7. So if dot length equals 7, so if it's 7, we need to add the transparency. If it is 9, then we don't. If start rather than me trying to read this, just did I hope I didn't break that. There we go. I missed clicking. I don't think we need to remove the existing alpha. I think we just keep it. If you're going to go ahead and try to include an alpha in there, like that's a little bit of an Easter egg. If you give the right number of characters, we're gonna if you give a set of characters that is greater than something that wouldn't include transparency. No, I said that wrong. If you give a number of characters that is greater than 7, we're assuming that you're trying to specify transparency and it's on you. Because like if stuff doesn't work, like shrug. Like our error case here is you know? Okay. So we've got black with transparency and light blue, no transparency. So now if you would do, where's one of yours that you did transparency on? Yeah. Is this one not going away now? Go away, go away. I actually don't. Now that I wrote this nested ternary, I don't really like it. Okay. So if it starts with that, here we go. I don't like this nested ternary now that I wrote it though. So if it doesn't start with here, I'm gonna rewrite it. I'm gonna do this. So if it doesn't start with the hash, or it starts with a hash, but it doesn't equal 7 characters, just ignore the alpha part of it. Otherwise, default to adding the alpha. Cool. Now I guess width and height. When you specify, so if you'd say like 1920 by 1080, that would be 1920 would be width first. So I think what we say is we'll say dimensions and const with height dimensions. So if there are no dimensions, then we're going to set some default dimensions, and we're going to say 250 and 250. So now and we want to split on an X. So that'll get a little bit, that might get a little bit weird if you don't specify the X. So I might actually just, let's go like this. If we have any of it undefined, can we do just default here? So if we have some like a weird undefined is not iterable, yep. Because this could potentially end up being undefined. Oop. Okay, so this I think will give us, we can do something like then hide orange 800 by 800, and that'll open up a window. That's not what I was expecting. 800 by 800, okay. Dimensions, whoops. There we go. Except it's I don't see it anywhere. We might have had something like error out or something. Oh well. Let's just do the same though, and we're gonna say X and Y. I guess we say a comma. And we'll say location and rest. I don't know that I'm actually going to use the rest, but we'll say X, Y, X equals 2000, Y equals 300. And we'll say location dot split on a comma, and we'll do that. And take out this, and we're going to log this out to confirm that we are getting the values that we are expecting to get. Okay, we're getting orange with height. Width and height are coming in as strings. So if we don't specify it as coming in as a number, if we end up specifying it, it's not. Yes, Kitty, I hear you. B dot to no. Parse int. Got a lot of things that are dark. Hi, kid. Yes. Are you hungry? Kitty might end up getting some treats today. All right. Now you should be able to do something like, oh, hi. Yep, that would be a tail. Hide white. 1200 by 1200 and X. No, say 3500 and 100. Gotta go. Need to get back to work. Thanks for stopping by. Oh boy. It's dependent on like, oh no. It opens up in the window that I have my cursor on. Or on the monitor rather. So like my cursor when I typed was on my other screen. Okay, so if I hit enter and then click over here real quick. $3,500. So depending on the values that you do, it's actually opening up on my other monitor, which is kind of funny, but less fun. Okay, I've got a whole bunch of, look at this. Whole bunch of instances. Okay, thank you. Anyways, stuffers, thanks for stopping by, Odie. Come on up. Say hi. Now you're shy. Ow. Getting like static shocks here. I have to like. My humidity's not bad right now. Okay, so this should open up that, and now, so depending on what we type, and I have some defaults in there. So like I could do hide white and say 1200 by 1200. And is it going through? Why is it not sending? What? Hide white 12. Okay, wow. What was with that delay? I mean, it looks like I'm live still. Like, what is with this delay right now? Hide yellow 1250 by 9. Okay, 800, I guess, because I pressed H instead. Oh, did I not connect? I didn't hit connect. Gosh, golly. There we go. Okay. So depending on, can we get the window location? Let's just map this out a little bit. If we go into here and say, when we receive a payload, we're setting some things. Now if we say, there should be a resize. If we look at the events, window moved. So we can listen to Tauri move. That will allow us to, we'll just say listen. Oh, I already got the quotes in there. Oh my goodness. I'm like sitting crooked. Horrible posture is now affecting my typing. Event. And now every time we get in a move event, what we can say is let's log out window.tauri. I think it might be contained there. and open up one of these and look at this one. So this is going to be the one that has. So anytime it moves, we should be getting all of these. Okay, so window. Window is an object. We can get the physical position. All right, so once we have the window, we can say get current. So that gets the instance. Physical position. I mean, I could check it current monitor. Returns the monitor on which the window currently resides. So that'll give me the monitor. Those will give me the monitor. App window will give me the web view window. Okay. Dot app dot window dot app window. Actually, I might be able to just click in here. App window. Label listeners. Okay. So that's not what we want. Window events. Okay, we can listen to events. Let me. What time are we at? We are almost at 2 hours. I think we're gonna get this last little bit working here. And then this might be where we call it. Let's put on a little bit of this. Okay. I don't care about the monitor. I want to get the like physical size. I don't see anything else in here that's going to help us. See, all of these are existing. VS Code is just guessing based off of like our existing so that'll be the class. There's also the physical and logical positions. I don't remember which one is which and what they do offhand. I feel like every time that I need to know that information, I end up having to look it up. Okay. So if we've got this window here, and we move it up here, that's the wrong one. Create. Okay. So if we look at this, okay, undefined. Yep. Whole bunch of undefined. We can do it with can we do it with the main window? I just need to know the like position of it. I thought there was a way to do that, but I'm not. Monitor allows you to retrieve names. Okay. Size, scale factor. Interfaces, and app windows. So web view window. So web view window should be get That app window. I thought one of these things had it on there, but I'm just like not seeing it. So now we should be logging out the app window. Might need to do a little bit of a refresh here. Get that window to open up again. Okay, so now we're getting information. So now we have the label. If we, that's the label. That's not necessarily the like if we do guides multi-window. So when we're here, we do, to remove the window, we create a new web view window. And that gives us access to the methods on that web view. So when we do a move event, app window label is that piece that we're using there. So if we say const label equals this, and then we do const window equals new window dot Tauri dot window dot and if we look at this, oh, I'm not logging out the we need that method, so we're gonna have to make sure that we can grab that method right off the window there, and that might be an issue. Oh, we'll figure it out. So when this moves, okay, currently we're not getting anything. Create. Interesting. Okay. So there's a web view window. Now if we do, to get the label, if we do window Tauri window app window dot label, that gives us the label. So this should be valid. Let's close it, reopen it, double check, make sure everything's still working. When we move it, we should be getting, oh, I didn't update the log. We're still getting the log. So that's a pretty good sign that things haven't errored out. So now if we take that label that's here, app window dot label, that should give us the value that we have here. So if we do this, we now have access to it. So we should be able to do this, in which we could then say window close, which would mean that anytime we move it, it's going to close. Which doesn't seem to be working as expected. Interesting. I wonder if it's this, like, something with this bit. Okay, let's do do this and we'll say const app window and web view window equals this. Pull this class out, pull this out. What does this look like? And if we do a log and label, this should be the same function as this. New web view window, window label. Yes, I hear you. Come on up. And Kitty wants some treats. She's starting to get passive aggressive, which is yeah, I know. Come on up. So if we move it, we're not getting anything. So for whatever reason, if we do this new web view window, it just like errors out. Interesting. What if we do? I mean, in this case, we're like setting up a handle to it. Do we use app window anywhere? No. Okay, get by label. Ah. Oh, there's a Tauri manager one. Okay. Okay. So if we do dot get by label, this could be, I don't think the interface has changed, but it's entirely possible that it has and I just forgot about it. Okay, I just screwed that up. I can get the window to reload, which then reloads the HTML if I close it every time before I open it. So if I click create, I can get this to reload the actual value if. Oh, what? Yeah, okay. What in the heck? Window, Tauri, window. It just does not like me using that web view window for some reason. Let's log this out. I wonder if there's some... I don't know why it's just not doing anything at all. Oh, undefined? Oh. Fine, it is undefined. I can see that. And we move this. Okay. So we were doing web view window. That is a class which has a get by label. There's also window manager, which is a class. So if we say, if we do this, we should be able to theoretically get that window. That'll be web view window, get by label. We're giving it a label, which is that. So save, close, open it again, open the DevTools, go to console, move. Nothing. Nothing. I mean, I don't really need this. I don't know why it's not working. I mean, like, it could very well be like it's firing off this event so many times sort of situation. Okay. If we do, I don't really care about this window. I just need to know the location, and I don't want to like do the math. I just want to move around and figure it out that way. So if I look at this, we've got a listener. This is setting up a listener when I click that button. So let's do use callback, set WS, and our button right now is here. So if I want to do, I think my default is null. Okay. Yep. Background color. We are gonna say if WS and what is it? Set WS. So if WS is set, then we're gonna do that. Otherwise, we're gonna do that. And I'm gonna say green. So now I can do, if I refresh and I click connect, now I know when it's connected. So I don't actually like resubscribe multiple times. I've got multiple instances too. Okay, let's stop that for a sec. I want to do in, I mean, I guess I kind of need to do it. Here I'm pulling in the window. What are my other options here? They are a position represented in physical scale factor, physical size, logical position, class. So it is a class, and if I say every time I get a message in, if I do logical position, is that like, dude, this API is not a window. Okay, so that it creates a position. I want to get, it converts a physical position to logical. Okay. And here, see, yeah, okay. Get all. So I think really all they want is an app window. Let's grab this. This is what we want. I only really care about, so every time it renders, like, fine, just give me some information. Tauri is WASM. I think the easy answer to that is no. There's potentially more involved answers in there, but Tauri is a framework to help you build, at the moment, desktop apps. Mobile is in V2, which is alpha, beta, alpha. So you would use Tauri to wrap HTML, CSS, JS, or WASM, rendered in a web view in basically like a window, which is what somebody, people typically think of that as like an app. So a desktop app or a mobile app would be the thing that gets rendered in the web view. And Tauri plus other lower level pieces that it's pulling in handles that for you. Okay, so every time it creates, let's just do it here. Every time it creates a window, because then I could handle this async. I don't have any async here, do I? Okay. Let's see, app window, inner position. We're gonna make another button real quick. We're gonna say on click. We're gonna say app window inner position. That's not gonna work. Async. Console.log await app window inner position. And then we can also do, okay, actually I'm just gonna grab all of this. Because, yeah, let's do it all in here. Console.log factor position logical. Bam. All right. IMHO, WASM is future. WASM can do a lot of things, and I think there is definitely interesting futures for it. But there's a lot of nuance there that I don't think that WASM is a JavaScript TypeScript killer. As it is right now, it can't be because it requires JavaScript to bootstrap. I think it has potential to replace functionality or supplement or be an alternative to functionality that JavaScript is currently the thing handling in the browser. But right now it's got a long way to go. If we're talking strictly browser here, it's got a long way to go. It still requires JavaScript. Pretty sure it still requires JavaScript to bootstrap the process. But it has potential. I'm not saying WASM's a bad thing, and desktop apps are kind of just a whole separate thing. But Tauri can use WASM, so come on, kitty, come over here. Kitty is hungry. Let's try this. I want to get the positions. Let's figure out a default position. Do the position stuff real quick here, and then I think that is where we're gonna call it. Yeah, my button isn't labeled well here. Info. Save. There we go. Okay, so now every time I click on that, I get some more information. Logical? Where do I have this logical? 39. 39. Where are you? Here. Okay. So factor 1, logical. Okay. So now if I go here and then I click info, we should get, all right. Now this is going to be specific to my monitor, which is fine for the moment. Because I'm probably going to like kind of tuck this away in a hidden part of the app that we can slowly pull out. But what we're trying to do is set a default X and Y. So or just X and Y, that if somebody says X, it's actually X plus. So if we're looking at my Y right now is 20. So we can have a default Y of 0. And X is, I guess if we say 1230 maybe? We'll say 1230. 1230. It's going to be the default. No. Default is going to be 0. Yep, default is going to be 0. We're going to do X plus this. So it's always going to be based off of like the visible area. And if we get outside of the visible area, like that's fine. So if we say hide orange, let's just do that. We'll start with that. So yes, and Angelus, I think you were making some sweeping statements that have more nuance to it. I don't think I disagree that there's benefits or use cases or a future for WASM. There's pros and cons to everything and nuance everywhere. So, personally, I think WASM as a potential container. So in the vein of what Docker is doing, I think it's kind of a very interesting architecture because anything can compile to WASM, and if you can run WASM in a container, as a functions as a service type setup, I think that's really nifty. The kitty is like passive aggressively standing underneath me. Feed me. Soon enough, kitty. Okay. Position. Create. The default create now is center unless we are passing in. So now if I say hide orange, we should. Oh, we're not connected. I need to connect. Hide orange. There we go. We want to go over a little bit, I think. So we're gonna say 1200. Does that look good? I think that looks good. No, actually, we'll do 1230. 1230 is good. Wait, actually, what is the corner of this? I hit info here. It is. That is a weird 1220, I guess. Okay. So now if we do hide orange. There we go. So what we can do is say, getting a whole bunch of like extra instances opening up. Yeah, it'd be great to deal with that. Okay. We have the story app connected to a WebSocket or via WebSockets to streamer.bot. Streamer.bot is hooked up to YouTube chat. If we type in YouTube chat, something like hide red and say, Let's do 900 by 900. And we're going to leave it at 0 position. This should open up a big window that's going to cover up both my screen and whatever you can see. And you can see it is very red. I think we got it. I think this is going to work good. Little bit of troll, a little bit of callback to previous streams, which should be fun. Right now it's open for 16 seconds. We're definitely going to not make it 16 seconds because that'll be a lot of chaos on stream. But it works. So, do we need to do anything else from here, I guess? We've got some defaults. It's a little bit of like, you have to figure it out, which I'm kind of okay with if you mess up the command. What is our... Can I see the... How many times have we run this? 40 something? Nice. Okay. I think we can at least check this off for the moment. If somebody puts in something that's not going to work, like things will just error out and then the window will be destroyed. So I'm not terribly worried about dealing with like weird edge cases, because if it doesn't work, that's just sort of funny, I guess. It'll just like default to black, I think. Like if we do hide blah 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 blah, there you go. That's exactly what I said, right? It's just like opening up a transparent window or whatever, like whatever. So I think it's good. I think we can call this like mission accomplished-ish. And actually, what was that window color? Actions, queue, history, requeue. It's not coming through now. What the heck? I guess my requeues don't seem to work with the command check. Oh, well, I think this will work. I've got everything hooked up so it shows up down there. I'd have to be running this app and make sure to connect. I'll probably put this like connect bubble down in the corner or something like that, so it's not terribly obvious. And it's also like specifically set up to work with my stream and my computer setup, of which, I mean, the defaults are fine, but this one definitely is like my setup. So we would almost need like a settings page or something like that to configure, which is fine. Let's put this down to 6 seconds before I forget. Is this even like showing up? Yeah, I don't know. Oh, it's just like reopening the same window. Interesting. Maybe we do want to... I don't know. It's fine for now. If it opens up a second instance, it's not like reconnecting or anything, so it should be fine. All right, I think we can, we'll take out a couple of these console logs where they're not sitting in here, and I think that's where we're going to call it today. We can call this one mission accomplished, and we'll, we've got a little bit more chaos on stream now, which can be fun. Let me take off this button here. And then this button is going to create... Where did I put it? Connect. Okay. Welcome. Okay, so footer. The sockets are socketing. Go ahead, if you can see the YouTube chat, feel free to type one in that's currently connected. So, let the chaos ensue. Where's the I need the, this is fine. Hi YouTube. That one works. I forgot about that one. Hey, no, do exclamation mark hide. There's like 1,000. Okay, not 1,000. 47. 47 examples. Most of which are the exact same thing over and over, but you know, exclamation mark hide, and then a color should see. Did it? Did it make one? I wasn't even noticing. Yeah, okay, black square. See the black square? But you can make a color too. Maybe we should make it different. Let's make the default white. Let's make the default white. Because I'm not even gonna notice it if it's black. Hey. So like, this is literally covering that part of the screen. I can't see it because it is an app window. So not only does it cover up the screen for everything you're seeing, it's always on top and I cannot see anything below it. So like, when I say chaos, yeah. All right, so let's do F. Oh, let's do. Why am I F? Why is it? My shift is like, it's like window snapping right now. What the heck? Okay. FF. FF. What do they say? F's in chat. So now the default, if we do exclamation mark hide, do I not remember my hex? Is it 0, 0? No, right? FFF is clearly at the end of the stream. I'm X. Yeah. Did not reload. Refresh. Connect. Now I have the zombie window. Blast. So, hide should make a white window. What did I do? Is it setting the clear color of the window, or is it a CSS background on the window? So it's opening up a completely separate window and setting the color background. When we create the window, we are passing it as like a URL parameter, essentially. In here, when you're changing the color through this functionality, we're emitting events via the event API in Tauri. Nice. Would that work? Hide. That would be awesome if it works, but it is not, probably because no, that should work. That should work. Hide linear gradient. Okay, so we are getting the URL parameter. And setting the background color, initial color. Would that work on a... That should work, right? Like if we go... I wonder if there's some like text parsing kind of stuff going on here. I mean, it's definitely not like, whoop. Does it need to be a string? Where'd my window? Did I lose my window? No, it's that one. What the heck? I love the like pen testing. I'm getting windows opening up over here. I also have like a whole bunch of zombie processes because they like, if the syntax is funky, I think it just opens up a new one. That would be the doorbell. Hopefully this is the kitty food because my cats are hungry. And they ate more food than I was expecting. Food ran out this morning and I'm like, well, we got food coming this morning in the mail. Let's hope we don't get hungry. Yeah, so the bit is I stopped it. Because we're getting all those zombie processes. So there's definitely some like hard coding that I was doing that we've started unwinding. No, go for it. Go for it. This that linear gradient. I want that to work. Okay, yeah, got a lot of work messages too. Why wouldn't that be working? So it doesn't no. Okay, so what we're doing, like originally I was just naively concatenating the to get the color, we were concatenating two strings. And we're passing it as the URL parameter. And we had added if it does not start with a hash. So that doesn't, so we shouldn't be adding anything with transparency. So we should be able to just straight up do this linear gradient. So I suspect what's happening is when we're doing this, that's where this linear gradient thing is not working. And because we're setting initial color, we're setting the background color to a string. And I wonder if linear gradient needs to be, is there something like that's a CSS only thing, right? Yeah, so like the reason we were doing the thing with that, the hash, was that you could just do like exclamation mark light blue, or you could do a hex. But linear gradient is like, does background color only accept a string? Or does this need to be a... Oh, I moved it up. Expected a string. Yeah. Linear is not defined. Yeah, so like... Is linear gradient just or is it like SVG linear gradient element? Linear gradient is not defined. So I don't think it's, we're not in CSS land at that point, right? We're in JavaScript. MDN JS linear gradient background. Because like this is CSS. But if we wanted to set it via JavaScript, my CSS is not good enough to know if we can even do that offhand. Linear gradient in JavaScript. I don't think, can you? Yeah, okay. That even, I think that one's still open from before. HSL, would that work? Is it stripping commas or something? It's hard to tell if like some of it is YouTube. No, you've got a comma there before. Previous one. I think it's we might need to, if we want to make this more robust, doing the document.body.style.background color in JavaScript in a script tag probably isn't the way to go. But we'd be wanting to change like CSS, right? How can we? I don't know how we do that offhand. That might be either an off stream or another stream thing, because I think linear gradient would all be CSS, and I don't know. Can you change CSS? Like, you can't really change CSS through. Oh, JavaScript style tag. Linear gradient. Yeah, it's all CSS. Or SVG. That might be an interesting thing to play around with. Drawing SVGs. You think it's the white space, to be honest? We are also, so like it's like if we do, something like that, where URL encoding, then I forgot it goes way faster now. Just turned it down. Where URL encoding the value that you're passing through. So what is this? Does this actually get encoded too? Console.log. Oh, go away. Why is it doing that? My shift is like getting stuck. No, I don't want sticky keys on. I can't type. Can't press shift right now. it's like. What is it doing? It's just like. Did that work? That worked. That worked? Okay, cool. And that makes sense because it doesn't start with a hash and it's just a string. But also, what the hell is happening with power tools? I don't know what it's doing. What is it doing? I've never had power tools freak out this much. Like I can't even get back to the window. All right, going away for right now. Okay, let's log this out real quick. I think it's gonna come through. So as long as we could, whatever's, it's gonna be whatever's supported by a string, or if you do the style.background color, any string that works there, I think is going to end up working. So like if we inspect this, we're getting null, which makes sense. And then if we do hide purple, we haven't done purple yet. See if we can do it fast enough. Purple, cool. Whoop. We need to do hide hash FFF. Okay, so I think as long as it's a string and it's supported by setting it in a script tag via document.body.style.background color, I think it's gonna work. I would love to have the linear gradient work though, but I don't think that's just not supported via JavaScript, right? All right, I think we need to call it though. The work questions are incoming, and we've had our fun. I'll probably end up pushing this up, and we can run it on stream and let a little chaos ensue. I mean, we could like release this as, or like push it up as like, I mean, technically it's a real app, but actually like release it so where it's something somebody can download just as a, like, we need a settings page for where somebody could configure it, but it would be kind of fun. Yeah, that was fun. I'm glad we got it to work. And I wish the linear gradient would work. Okay. We could theoretically do an SVG. Which would be utter chaos. But I kind of like it. We'll think about it. We'll see. Anyways, thanks for stopping by, everybody. Have a great rest of your week. I think I've got like 2 more streams through the end of the year. 2, 3. I don't remember when the holidays land. But at least 1 or 2 more. So I will see you next Tuesday, same time, same the internet. Have a good week. Bye.